Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through this new experience that I built called the Dojo Project. So sit back, relax, and I'm going to guide you through this little tour of how I made this thing happen. In taking on all new projects, the first thing you start with is the design, or the desire of the customer to understand what they want to achieve. And you have to put yourself in their situation, but also then reel back and try to determine what's the best approach for making that end product successful. Making it valuable, making it tangible, and ultimately functioning in the design that the customer envisions. So that's what we did, is we kicked the tires around, trying to figure out what made the most sense and utilizing the best design and elements and features we could to have a really impactful experience. After narrowing in on the design and the concepts that would make this whole experience come together, I needed to break down the projects into a couple different phases so that we could work on them individually as we were trying to source and locate materials, not only for the structure, but also in various nurseries and places I needed to get material to enhance the landscape on. And being that we were coming out of COVID, I wasn't quite sure what that would look like as far as timelines go, so I didn't want to kind of hamstring this project by keeping it all grouped together, and also made it easier to manage the costs and also set experience or expectations with the timelines that would ultimately drive different portions of these projects. Some of them were not tied together, so we could decouple those and make it a little easier to navigate. And that's exactly what we did. So going out of chronological order, we're going to talk about enhancing the landscape. This, to me, honestly, I thought was going to take far longer than it did, but I was able to source some very, very good material right out the gate and start working on getting that planted. It served two purposes. One, having powerful material to enhance the landscape was key, was paramount. And two, being able to source it and get it planted at the right time of the year was huge as well. We had to navigate and dance around some very odd weather for us here in Idaho at the time, and it worked out to our advantage. It was just far wetter, cooler than we had anticipated it being. After meeting with the customer a couple times, we landed on a design concept that worked for us. And we also discussed some options for enhancing the existing landscape and making it a little bit more creative, but also framing up the experience so that the visitors or users of this dojo would have something that kept them interested as they walked in and out of the backyard. Now getting back to creating the structure, this was a massive undertaking in getting and receiving all of the lumber, milling down the lumber, preparing it with the Shosugi-ban technique to prevent it from rotting out as quickly, and providing that nice, dark, seasoned wood look, which was exactly what the customer was looking for. Once getting the structure set, then fabricating up the steel entry moon gate. Turned out to be a pretty rewarding process there as well, and also adding some very nice aesthetics to the whole dojo itself. So came out very, very well. The customer was thrilled, and I couldn't ask for a better result. After I completed the dojo, I turned my attention to the atrium, which was just an enhancement that the designer of this home built into creating an outdoor-indoor experience. It's surrounded by glass on the inside, but the outside is just this exposed center mass of the structure, and it needed to be refreshed. There was some breaking down of what was the existing structure there. So in order for it to follow the same lines and look and feel of the dojo, we took the same approach with dressing that one in, and it turned out very, very well. Provided just enough light to come through to be enjoyable, but also gave you enough shade to where it was pleasant to be on there in the summer, be out there in the atrium during the summer months. All right, so now we're moving into phase 2, which after having phase 1 complete with the structure done, having phase 3 done with planting all the trees and all the fun that we wanted to have around the structure, it was time to put in the patio extension for a little fire pit that the customer wanted to be able to enjoy without, risk of catching the dojo on fire. And then 2, to have the ability to walk from their back door out to the dojo, or from somebody who was visiting from the front of the house to be able to walk to the back of the dojo. And so I wanted to do something that was a little bit more custom, something you wouldn't see at just a big box store as far as pavers. And so that took me into casting 3 different size concrete pavers that were reinforced with rebar in the length of 48 inches by 16 inches, 24 inches by 16 inches, and then 16 by 16. And this broke up the space and didn't create a standardized pattern so much. It was very flowing and allowed us to be creative with how we approached that entry to the dojo. Wrapping up projects like this one and many others is always bittersweet, but I look forward to the opportunity to work with this customer and any of you potential customers out there that are just looking for something to elevate your landscaping to the next level. If you have questions, inquiries, let me know. I particularly specialize in these type of engagements, creating experiences, pruning and maintaining trees, and also in bonsai design. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. highdesertbonsai.com. My contact information is out there. You'll reach out to me directly, and I appreciate the opportunity. I also like to say thank you to all the friends and family that have supported me in this endeavor and these others that I've taken on, and I look forward to talking to you all soon.